The next thing I'd like to talk about is animations. So unlike transitions, which are between one slide and the next, animations all happen on one single slide. Okay, so let's take a look at these points right here. So in order to add animations, you need to select what it is you want to animate. So let's say these points right here. Okay, so if I add an animation, for example, fly in, right, you can see those points just fly in. You can always preview it again, right? All those points fly in like so. Okay, now if I want them to fly one at a time, let's just get rid of that. Okay, so I'm just going to undo, Control Z. If you're not familiar with the undo, right? Undo can also be accessed from right here. If you ever make a mistake and you want to undo your mistake, you can do that. So let's say I want to animate these ones individually instead of having them all one at a time. So we'll just select that point, have it fly in. Okay, then the next point, have it fly in as well, and the third point, oops, and have it fly in as well. Okay, so apart from having the different types of animations, you can have different options as well, just like in the transition. So this one right here, we had it fly in, but it's coming in from the bottom. Let's change it and have it fly in from the left. Okay, like so. If you want to preview everything, again, you can just go to your slideshow, right, click there, and you can see that these things are not animated, so they're already on the slide. So click one time, and that point comes in. Click another time, that one, and click, and you can see that one flew in from the side there. Okay, so just press escape, and we're back out. Okay, so let's animate all these things. So let's take this one too, and let's animate it. Let's have it, let's choose another one. Let's have this one bounce in, like so. Bounce in there. And this apple here, let's see what's a good one. Let's have it just zoom in like that. Alright, looks fine. Other options you can do is have these things come in on click. So when you click, they come in. Other things you can do is you can time them to not have them come in, but come in automatically. But we'll go through that another time. Let's just keep it simple for now. Okay, so you can see the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if I play that, you can see that 1, 2, 3, and that one bounces in, click again, and the apple flies in. Okay, now you might say that's kind of a strange order. I'd like to reorder those things. If you do want to modify your animations, what you need to do is you need to turn on your animation pane. Now this is a very handy tool, so get used to it. Okay. So once you turn on the animation pane, you get this thing on the side here, and all these numbers correspond to the numbers over here. So let's say the first thing I want to appear is this apple. I want that to be the first animation. You can see it's described here as picture 1. So I can take that and I can move it up here. Okay. And you can see that it changes to number 1. Okay. Then perhaps next I want this text box here, and I can just grab that and pull it up here. So now the order has been changed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's just play that. So here's our slide. First click, apple. Next click, there we go. Next, click again. Click again, and we have the order that we wanted. Okay. If you don't like these animations, you can also delete them too. You can just come here, hit the cancel key or the delete key on your keyboard. I think also here you can also remove them from here too, clicking on this little arrow. Now I'd like to show you how to bring things or animate things without clicking. So let's take these 3 points here. You can see when I click on the box, all 3 of them have been highlighted. Okay, you can see all 3 of them have been highlighted. They kind of group together. So let's say I want to not have to click to bring them in. So I can say that I want them to come in after the previous. Okay, after previous means after number 2. Okay, so after the previous, you can see all the numbers have been taken off here, and they kind of essentially become kind of linked to number 2. So here they become link to number 2, they're going to come after it, and we can just set a delay. So let's say I want to set like a 3-second delay. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at how that's going to come out. Okay, so here we have it, and clicking once will bring in the apple, clicking again will bring in that, and it should be 3 seconds. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there you have the 3-second delay between each animation. Sorry, not transition, animation. So you can set that there. You might wonder what's the difference between delay and duration. So delay is how long it waits before it starts the animation, but duration is how long the animation actually takes. So to demonstrate that, I'll demonstrate with the apple. We had it kind of zoom in, right? Kind of zoom in like that, and if we increase the duration of this apple animation, let's increase it to something exaggerated like 3 seconds. And here, if you play it now, you can see that it zooms in, but it takes a very long time. It takes 3 seconds, right? 1, 2, 3 seconds for that apple to actually zoom in. Okay, so that's the difference between duration and delay. So let's do some further modification. So as you saw, I made these 3 points have a 3-second delay after the previous. Now let's say I just want the first one to wait 3 seconds. So after this apple on the beach, after 3 seconds, this first point comes in. But each subsequent point, I don't want to wait 3 seconds for that. So let's modify that. So if I click individually, you can see that not all 3 are selected anymore, just the one. So this first one does have that 3-second delay after the previous, which is what I want. But the second one, I don't want all that delay. So let's just decrease that to something like 50 seconds. I don't want to click again. Again, I just want it to come in by itself without me clicking. But after half a second, and same with point number 3, again, I don't want to have to click, but I don't want to wait 3 seconds either. But half a second. Okay, so the first one, right, I don't click. It comes in after the previous one, 3-second delay. Second one, half a second, and half a second. So let's go ahead and play that. So my background, click for the apple, comes in 3 seconds, right, very long. And then I click again for this next one, and then it should be 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and now it comes in, and half a second, and half a second. So let's try this again on our next slide here. Okay, so I have 2 things here. Let's animate those. So let's have this just kind of appear, or maybe fly in. Fly in's rather obvious, so that's rather nice. So float in as well, and maybe fly in. I'm going to have it come in from the right side here. Okay, so you can see from my animation pane, I have number 1 and number 2. So again, if I want them to come in one at a time, I can just leave it at that. But let's say I do want them to come in both at the exact same time. So a couple ways to do that. The first way, again, I can just set the second one to come with the previous. Okay, so now they both have a number 1, and so with previous, if I play that, you can see if I click, right, they both come in at the same time. Okay. Another way to do it, let me just get rid of these for a second. So just remove that animation, remove that one. If you want to animate things together, you can select both of them. To select more than one thing on Windows, I'm not sure with a Mac, but on Windows, you hold down the Shift key on your keyboard. So Shift, and choose this one, and choose this one. You can see both of them have been selected now. And now I can choose both of them to have that fly in effect. And you can see that they both happen at the same time. And you can see they both have number 1. And if I click, it in fact does say with previous. And both of them have the exact same effect. So if I want to play that, there's my slide, and exact same effect. Okay, so that's kind of grouping things together. If you want more than one thing to come in at the same time, just hold down your Shift key and select everything that you want. And then you can always modify what's necessary from the animation pane.